Israeli civilians reunited with their loved ones.
At least 274 Palestinians were killed. Gas prices dropping again. Oil industry analyst Trilby Lundberg.
Regular grade gasoline now averages $3.58, dropping 12 cents in the past 3 weeks, and a total of 19 cents over the past 7 weeks. Also, this price is 8 cents under its Jericho point.
I'm Deborah Valentine. This is Fox News.
Is KFC's new pizza?
Fried chicken? That's our pizza.
That's right. You think KFC's new pizza isn't pizza because it's made with crispy fried chicken? You think the marinara, mozzarella, and pepperoni aren't enough? Well, you're right. It's not pizza. It's chizza. Only at KFC.
Now on Guam for a limited time, the new KFC Chizza. Grab yours today at your favorite KFC restaurant or order at kfcguam.com. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Fox Facts.
With summer barbecues heating up, a bottle of ketchup is likely on your picnic table. This popular condiment has a surprising history, though. It was once sold as medicine. In 1834, Dr. John Cook Bennett, an Ohio physician, developed a tomato-based elixir he claimed could cure digestive issues, believing the high acidity of tomatoes was beneficial. Salesman Archibald Miles marketed the elixir in pill form, calling it Dr. Miles' Compound Extract of Tomato. But over time, people began to appreciate the tomato-based product more for its flavor than its supposed health benefits. In 1876, American entrepreneur Henry Heinz introduced the condiment we know today. Originally called catsup, it was derived from a Chinese fish sauce. Today, ketchup is widely enjoyed as a flavorful addition to hamburgers, French fries, and even eggs. Matt Murphy, Fox News.
Veterans with Benefits with your hosts, Anthony Tyron and Karita Ballista, begins now.
Half a Day Guam, welcome back. June 10th. So I'm Karina, and then Anthony.
Hello, I'm Anthony Tyron.
And then we will introduce our guest, or he can introduce himself after all of the announcements. Okay, so sponsors. Thank you to our sponsors. Ambrose Inc., American Legion, 11Z's, which is right behind us, and they offer 11% discount to veterans and military. Zoilo.org, Vic Gaza for Senator, Hebzibah Family Medical Clinic, Guam Eco Surfaces. And then we want to announce Veteran of the Week. Veteran of the Week, Candido Napati. Candido was drafted during the Vietnam War era. In September 1967, he went to basic training at Fort Ord, California. Then in November 1967, he received training as an 11 Bravo 10 light weapons infantry at Fort Lewis, Washington. He was discharged honorably in April 1968 and subsequently submitted a disability claim. Prior to entering service, Candido advised the drafting officers that he had a pre-existing knee injury. He was still forced to go through the training. He was injured at basic training and again at AIT. He was able to complete the training as required. He was then advised by the doctors at AIT that he would not be able to go to combat due to his knee problems. He was sent back home with more injuries than he started with. He spent 53 years fighting for his VA benefits. He is now receiving benefits through the help of HMI and Dr. Akoma. He continues to advocate for all veterans, and especially those that experience similar injuries in basic training and military job training. His civilian career includes working as a predator control officer at the Department of Agriculture, then transitioned to a career in public health as a health inspector. He retired from his role after 10 years in 1994. Candido's VA claim journey serves as an example of a veteran that never gave up. Let us honor his service and thank him for his service. Veteran of the Week, Candido Napati. Yay. Did you want to say hi?
Yeah. So also, we started giving through Domino's. We mentioned them earlier.
Not yet.
Okay, so Domino's is the sponsor for our Veteran of the Week now, and we already got the pizza to our first Veteran of the Week, which was Dave Fowler, and Candido can now go pick it up. And thanks to Dane Titano, who's the one of the head honchos over there at Domino's, he was really quick to do that, and he did that to help our veterans and celebrate them because he himself is a veteran. And when we get lucky one day, he's going to call in, and we'll be able to hear from him, and then we'll celebrate him too at some point. So thanks, Dane, and congratulations, Candido.
Yay! Did you want to say hi to someone?
Oh, I wanted to say hi to Aaliyah and Knox.
All right. So we're just going to touch on a few of the events that we had last week and this week, because once we get going with our guest speaker, I don't know if they're ever gonna stop talking. Okay, so this Wednesday, June 12th, is an important day for women in the military. HMI is hosting a Women Veteran Recognition event at Capitol Kitchen from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if you're a woman veteran and you're out there and you're listening, you have to RSVP with me, 671-682-7631, any women veterans out there. It marks the 76th anniversary that the women are allowed to join the military, June 12th. And then our guest speaker will be Captain Damon, the XO of Navy Hospital. She'll be our guest speaker for the event. Don't want to miss that. And then June is PTSD Awareness Month. And then if you are, you can always call 988 if you need to talk to someone or you need more resources. And then this Saturday is HMI's fundraiser at Tumon Sands Plaza, 6 to 8 p.m. on the rooftop. We're going to have a Zumbathon. G6 Fitness wanted to do a fundraiser for us, and so we're doing a Zumbathon on top of Tumon Sands Plaza. It's going to be nice.
Tickets?
Me.
Okay.
Or at Doc's Clinic, at Hebzibah Family Clinic, behind St. Anthony. And then 43 veterans. If you don't know who Anthony and I are, if you're first time listening to us, we are part of a nonprofit organization, HMI, and we do Chatting with the Coach. And this Saturday, we assisted 43 veterans. And this range from anything from assisting with their claims, answering questions, helping them apply for jobs, helping them get their Veterans Health Identification Card. There's just so many things veterans need help with. And that was 43. That was a really long day. 1 p.m. About 1:45, 2 p.m. until about 11 p.m. And we do this every week. And we just need to, and I feel like Anthony always says it, we haven't even scratched the surface with assisting all these veterans. And then our next Chatting with the Coach will be June 19 and June 22nd at Hebzibah Clinic, just because this week we have our events. Am I done talking? There's just so much.
What did we do last week?
I don't even know.
We went to the senior citizens or...
Oh, yes. Actually, was that Friday? Friday.
Was it Friday?
That was Friday.
Okay. we got so many things.
So HMI was invited to speak at the Governor's Conference on Aging by Department of Public Health, right? Thank you to Chad and Charlene.
Yes.
You guys invited us, and oh my God, that was a tough crowd.
Yeah, there was a packed room for our Manumku over there, and we found that there are quite a bit of veterans that are still over there that need some help, so they came, signed up, and we're going to take care of them. What else did we do before that? There was one more thing we did, I think.
Last month.
No, just last week. We had Chatting with the... What did we do?
Well,
we had...
We'll think about it, but...
I guess I think it's time now. It's already like 14 to...
There's a lot of stuff going on. But,
yeah, so much.
But yeah, so we did do our part to do that, and then, that's all part of the things we do with our veterans. There's a lot of them that still need a lot of help. Maybe we could also touch a little bit on, trying to get their VA.gov account. So if we could get some of our friends over at the Tizen office to maybe give us a call and let us know what's going on. We're trying to get our veterans to get their accounts so that they can work on their claims, and it seems like there's a little disconnect on how to get their claim, their account. So, any of the folks over there, is it Dana Baker? Who else is there? Chris Duenas. So if you guys could let us know what our veterans need to do to come see them and take care of giving them their VA.gov account, so we can try to get them to work on their claims. So
I do know what we did. We were invited to Sean Fay's retirement ceremony at
there
Camp
you go.
Blas.
Oh yeah, so Marine Major who started up the Camp Blas, what do you call it? Build up. He was been here for the past 4 years, and he's somebody that enjoys it here. He liked it so much that he's retiring here.
Nice.
So we could get him into the mix with helping veterans. Anything else? There's got to be something else. But we'll catch up on that.
I don't know. I feel like our weeks are blurs because I'm writing all this stuff down. We're pushing so much stuff out, and then we just keep going. There is an announcement we want to make.
You want to make an announcement?
Yeah.
What is it?
What we just accomplished this morning. What we're in the planning stages.
Well, yeah, you could talk about it.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. So this morning we spoke to Frank the Crank Camacho, and he would like to do a fundraiser for us, the same thing that he did for the Homeless Coalition. So he would like to run from Retidian to Molesto Pier, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And it will be on November 9th. And he said he's going to start training. And then I think our guest is going to help him. And I guess that's time to introduce our guest.
All right. So our guest needs no introduction. We'll let him introduce himself. He's larger than life. He's an action movie star. And more than that,
it's upside down.
Flip it.
Upside down.
So more than that, he's also he's a veteran. And our story is kind of funny because we bumped into each other, unbeknownst. And I said, hey, you look familiar, right? He said, I didn't know what you were doing here. And then I said, he told me who he was. I said, that's what I thought. And then I asked him if he was a veteran. But let him introduce himself and talk about who he is. And everyone should know him once he starts telling you who he is. So the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Ms. Karina. Thank you guys so much. And before I introduce myself, I do want to give a shout out to these two in front of me. From veterans with benefits to HMI, they sound like they're busy, but what you hear them sound like is not even close into comparison of how many notes and folders and paperwork and stuff that they really are doing. So thank you guys for doing this with and for the veterans. There's not many groups that are doing this for the right reasons, and you guys are. So thank you guys very much for that.
You're welcome.
Thank
Did
you.
Did you get some help too?
I have
wow.
gotten some help
now
through HMI.
Oh, wow.
Were they kind of slow coming, or did they?
No. It's pretty scary how fast HMI moves, and because listen, I'm used to moving at world champ speed.
Yeah.
I haven't even introduced myself yet. I'm sorry. Yeah. Hi everybody. This is Brandon. Brandon, the Truth Bearer. It's just me. It's me again. Hi, everybody. Sorry. Let's go, Brandon.
That's for Jose and for Bob Klitsky. Jose, you getting this? Jose, you getting this?
Let's go, Brandon.
Yay.
I love the Constitution. So, thank you guys for doing that. Yes, HMI has been helping me. And, we were talking about other things other than veteran stuff before we found out each other were veterans. So it wasn't like you guys were out hunting for people, but I wish you were.
Right.
Not enough people know about the services you guys provide. So I'm going to say it again. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And by the way, our veterans, they deserve what we have. And, whenever we tell them, I'm busy, it's hard, right? But that's not an excuse for us.
Sir.
When I say that, right, there's no excuse.
Yes,
we gotta take the time, we gotta find it, and we gotta do it. And some of the things we mentioned is Nobody's coming to save us.
Correct.
This is it. We are it. We are the team.
Yep.
When I say that, you're included in that. Jose's included with that. It's everyone on this island that cares about or who is a veteran. Nobody is going to come here and say, hey, they're riding in on a white horse and they're going to say, we're going to give you everything you need.
Nope.
That's not happening. We got to get out there and do it ourselves, right? And that's what we're going to do. So thank you for that, and we were happy to do that for you. And we could talk a little bit about that another time, so that way
it's an ongoing process. It's not a one and done type thing. This is something that you will have to fight for. You're a veteran. You should already know this is what I've been doing my entire life.
And you're someone who has a very busy schedule. So imagine someone like yourself. You still got to make that time.
Yes,
right?
sir. And then you guys reminded me today that I probably missing appointments.
If we didn't check, yeah.
So I am. Yes. I am at fault as well. I am a normal vet.
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
I'm a normal vet.
And that's something a lot of veterans do is they miss their appointments. Sometimes they just don't know, or
you didn't check the system again. Or, yeah.
And all is not stuff. And all is not lost when we miss that, right? Because the VA understands that we do have other things that go on in our lives. However, it's still incumbent upon us to make sure we go check that, because if we don't, then the VA is going to say, hey, look,
bye,
see
you later, thanks,
you're going to have to come back again and redo this. So
redo all of it.
Yeah, so that's what it is. Now let's talk a little bit more about things that you're doing, maybe that you want to talk about. And I mean, you got so many things. We were just sitting back there at 11Z's discussing like we normally do.
With the awesome coffee. Thank you, 11Z's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's delicious.
So, and, you're doing a lot of things. So maybe let's just touch on one thing that you want to talk about, and, that maybe you feel is doing really good out there for you in your mind's eye right now.
I post a lot on social media.
Okay, great.
It's mostly grappling stuff, sometimes fight news, a lot of politics, a lot of personal views.
Okay.
But I never talk about what I am doing.
Okay.
I guess as a whole.
Yeah.
And I've learned that throughout life, and just growing up with people and growing up certain ways that you should, and my wife would love this quote, move in silence.
Yeah.
You don't tell everybody what you're doing.
Right.
You just do your thing until it's time.
Right.
And you just show everybody. It's been very easy for me to do that because of the fight game.
Yeah. Okay.
Training's not fun. You know how everybody posts their pictures of training? I'm getting punched in the face during training. I'm getting kicked. I'm throwing up. I'm getting flipped over something.
Yeah.
People keep posting that. No, that's not what I want to show the world. I'd rather just show you me winning or me losing, but giving all my heart, So I've used to being quiet, but this one has been very hard to keep quiet.
Okay.
To my Filipino fans, opo, yes po, kamusta? I am still doing movies. May pinikula pa nga tayo sa Pilipinas. We have movies coming up in the Philippines, 2 the rest of this year, and then 1 next year in 2025. So we do have that going. We have our tournament coming together. I have not announced this yet, but I'm going to announce everything today just to make everybody mad. We are doing our tournament. When our first tournament came here, it was called, we partnered up with Grappler's Quest.
Okay.
The partnership was awesome. We had different views about different things. Me and Brian still talk to this day. We are no longer partnered with Grappler's Quest. We are now GU Series.
GU Series. Oh.
Throwback here to Guam.
Yeah.
And it's called Grappling United Series.
Okay.
The premise is we're going to be still traveling around the world, doing everything that we did at the last tournament, and it's going to be permanently free for all athletes everywhere. Everywhere we have a show and a tournament.
Oh, wow.
So our first tournament is here.
Yeah.
My team is going to kill me because we haven't even agreed to announce this yet. But the first tournament here is going to be November 16 and 17 at UOG.
Awesome.
Free for all athletes. It's a celebration of athletes, man. Come enjoy.
Yeah.
If you like the last show, this one's going to be even better.
Yeah.
So please make sure you come out to that. We talked about movies, talked about grappling, talked about Truth Apparel. Our clothing brand, Truth Apparel, is doing very well.
Very good.
Maybe it's just the message behind the truth, and maybe people understanding that it's more important now than ever for people to be speaking truthfully to each other and about things.
So let me share one thing with you
Yes,
since you
sir.
brought that up. So
Show him your shirt.
the name of our is Chamorro, right? Ihinano, Imagahit, Zeni, Inina. And that translates to the way, the truth, and the light.
Look
So-
at his
so-
logo in the middle.
So
Yeah, man.
so you know,
Yes, sir.
so,
See?
so it's really cool, right? That we're able to talk about that with you, right? And man, the things that you're talking about and doing, right? I'm sure there's got to be some veterans around you other than yourself, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's something we gotta maybe talk about somehow, right? And help improve things for them as well, right? Because there's a lot of veteran athletes out there too.
A lot
right?
of veteran athletes.
Yeah.
A lot of veterans who went into the game, got out. They're still doing other things. They're teaching. They're teaching in many different forms. So from weapons to hand to teaching at a gym.
And let's talk about a little bit about that, right? So for you, staying healthy, right, and trying your best, given even your disabilities, right? Because all of us get knocked around, broken here, broken there, right? And,
Yes, sir.
Doing that, right? We want to know, right? Is there still a level of fitness that you want to be in as we get older, right? I mean, we hate to say that, but we still got to stay in shape because that helps you overall. Is that correct?
You are very correct. Everybody has their own reason for how and why they stay in shape, and that's really up to you. Your parameters is up to your brain and why. Maybe you want to be around longer than 6 months. Maybe we want to be around longer to see your kids graduate.
Right.
For me, it's so that I can help my family survive the zombie apocalypse.
Okay.
It's a funny thing to say, but you need cardio.
Yeah.
You need to have your head on a swivel the whole time.
Yeah.
You have to train in many different disciplines to make sure that you're very well rounded when the time comes. So for me, even though it's a fun type of thing to think about, it's also something I can be very serious about because that's going to prepare you for any situation that could ever come up.
And one of the things we talk about, right, with once we get our disabilities too, right, in order for us as veterans, and I'm sorry, I'm taking this a little bit on the veteran side, right, but
That's why we're here.
Yeah,
That's why we're here.
But we also we got to look at this because we have to stay alive long enough for us to take advantage of the benefits that we're receiving. A lot of us, we say, oh, we want my benefits. I want to get this. I want to get the monthly from my disability claim, and I want to get the medical. And then after they get all these things, they never go get a checkup. And it's free, and that's what they've been complaining about. Yep. So that's another way for us to make sure we take advantage of those things, So
use the benefits that you've earned, that you get. Use them. Yeah, that's a big deal, vets. And I know a lot of us like to suffer in silence and not complain, but that's not an okay thing.
Yeah.
Especially once you get your benefits.
Right. And so this month is, what do you call it, Miss Karina, this month?
Mental health awareness.
Hey! My goodness, you are, this guy's sharp. We got to watch him.
But I don't think that he introduced himself about his Air Force career.
Sorry.
Well, that's
Sorry.
There's just so much to talk about.
Sorry.
And by the way, we're all chair force in here?
We're all chair force.
Yeah.
Right where we
We're all
should
chair
be,
force.
in the seats.
What is that? What is that?
That's Army.
Don't be mad.
Army?
Don't be mad. Oh, I thought that was A for ASVAB.
No!
I never served. It's A for APHIS.
Oh, A for APs.
All right.
But I am an Air Force veteran. I was in the military. My career is definitely different than I would say 99.99999% of people who joined the military.
Oh, yeah.
I joined because I didn't know where I was going in life.
Yeah.
I was a collegiate athlete, a scholarship collegiate athlete.
Wow.
Wrestling at D1 school, Old Dominion University, starting position, and I knew for some reason that school was not for me. I saw people changing their majors right before they're graduating, people losing their minds because they don't want to do school all over again.
Yeah.
And it kind of scared me. And I know I hate school. I absolutely loathe school. And I understood whatever I was going to do in my life, I was never going to use the Pythagorean theorem. So I didn't need to know that kind of stuff, Right. So didn't make sense for me. And this is not a knock on anybody. At the time, I remember people who were falling off their high horse, people who were doing all the things they were supposed to do, and everybody was looking up, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. They all turned into pizza delivery drivers at the time. Yeah. So for me, in my brain, I was like, I don't want to become a pizza delivery driver. Yeah. I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. It's just where my brain was at the time. And then I remember thinking, I have to do something. Yeah. And I panicked. I'm in Norfolk, Virginia, one of the highest rated sign-up places in the world for our military, our United States government military. And we have a building there that has all 4 branches, or maybe 5. Might have had the Coast Guard in at the time too, but all 5 of them in the same building. I talked to a Marine recruiter first, all the way at the end. I wanted to be a Marine. I wanted to be a helicopter pilot in the Marines. Yeah. I went all the way down, talked to them, and on the way out, the Air Force recruiter said, "Hey, son, let me talk to you real quick." Hey, what would my party call this? Age appropriate behavior, age appropriate thoughts at the time. Yeah. He said, "Hey, son, what'd you get on your ASVAB?" First question, I don't remember what ASVAB score anymore was, but what'd you get on your ASVAB? "Oh, you could be in the Air Force, man." So, hey, let me ask you a question. You seen any pretty girls over there signing up? And I looked at him. I was like, no. So let me show you something real quick. He showed me the wall of everyone who signed up.
Of all the pretty girls?
All beautiful women. Right? I don't know how old was I at the time, like 17 and a half, 18 or something. I was like, oh, wow. Okay. I can get in the Air Force? Oh, okay, I can do that. So I ended up joining the Air Force. Right. I went through basic, the whole thing that you're doing, and I think at the time, it's just like the movies. They have movies about it. You're walking and then they shoot you in both arms with the air injection guns. Yeah. So I was going through that, and then we get to basic, and you don't know what's going on in basic. You're just getting shuffled around. They're screaming at you, and you're like, what the hell did I do? And then, well, that's how it was before. I don't know how it is now.
Stretch skirt.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
So when we're going through basic, I'm probably like 3 weeks in or 4 weeks in basic. And, you still don't know. You're standing up straight. You're looking up at the sky and screaming, "Yes, sir." And then I hear... And the highest rank you see is like E3, E4. E4 is like the commander of that building, for that. And I was upstairs and I got a phone call. So I got nervous because you got a phone call during basic and they have to come get you. Usually something's wrong,
Yeah.
So I got nervous and I ran. They were like, "Airman Vera or Airman Basic Vera, you have a call downstairs from Master Sergeant Estrada." I was like, oh my God, Master Sergeant, I don't know any Master Sergeants. I didn't even know how to say. I didn't know what that Master Sergeant symbol looked like, So I run downstairs and I'm talking, and my TI is like literally right beside me, and I'm on the phone, and he's breathing in my face. "Sir, yes, sir, yes, sir." And then he starts laughing at me on the phone, man. Like Coach Estrella starts literally laughing. "Boy, what's going on? Is your TI right beside you?" And then I guess TI heard it and walked off. Yeah. And then he started laughing. He was like, "Hey, son, just relax. I need you to breathe. Just make it through basic. Yeah. Find yourself the shortest tech school you can. And I'm going to have you fly out here for tryouts. I just talked to your coach from college. Is your TI still standing there?" "Sir, yes, sir." Started laughing again. "Okay. Find the shortest tech school. I talked to your coach. I think you're probably going to make the team, but I need you to make tryouts." "Yes, sir." So 3rd weekend or 4th weekend in basic, I already had a side quest in this thing that I was going to join the Air Force team, And then I was going to join the Air Force team, and then the only reason why I didn't try to join the PJs, because, they come during basic to see if anybody wants to sign up for PJs.
Right.
I almost did, but I didn't because Coach put that in my head. So I was like, I just got to make it to trials. Yeah. Long story short, go to tech school, get to my first duty assignment. I go out TDY, make the team. I become the first all Air Force team member, which means my job full-time was just to wrestle.
Wow.
So I was training with the Air Force team around. I was training at the Olympic Training Center, and the only person that would train with the 2 heavyweights was me. And the 2 heavyweights didn't really like training with each other. It was Matt Grafari and Rulon Gardner. And if you don't know who either one of those gentlemen are, please Google them. They're both gold medalists or silver medalists and gold medalists. So those were my training partners.
Yeah.
And speaking with HMI, I just remembered literally that my first knockout ever was in the Air Force. I got thrown on my head during Greco practice at the Olympic Training Center. Yeah. So thanks, guys. Thanks for that.
Thanks for reminding you.
Thanks for reminding me about that, man.
All
so
right.
from there, it's just been an awesome, amazing journey. So,
and
are we going on break?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, with
Yes,
that,
we're going to go on break. And then when we get back, we will continue this.
We will continue.
We're having
this.
so much fun. Oh, upside down again. There you go. We'll be right back. Jose, he likes that sign.
Always here to help you. This island is our home. Through the years, we've been a friend to the neighbors we have known. Now we're banking on the future. Your services to choose. Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots.
Fox on Faith with Lauren Green.
Duck Dynasty's Willie Robertson is all about having a conversation about Jesus.
I think this should come as natural as talking about your relationship with Jesus should be as natural as talking about your relationship with your spouse or your children or, just common things that we talk about.
Robertson is a member of the famous clan whose reality show became one of the most popular ever. It was a program that might never have been until producers promised patriarch Phil Robertson they could talk about their faith in Jesus Christ. The show became known for the family's prayers at mealtime. Now, son Willie's new book, The Gospeler, is a how-to for believers to live out Jesus' great commission of spreading the faith, sometimes in the oddest places, like a bar, one conversation at a time.
This book is an attempt to come off of that Great Commission, is actually to help people to understand maybe how to do that.
To hear more, go to Lighthouse Faith Podcast at foxnews.com. For Fox on Faith, Lauren Green, Fox News.
And we're back. I want to say hello to some of the people watching us online. Elizabeth Kitchichu says, good afternoon. Dee's watching us. Hello, Dee. And then we also have Charlie Keone, Bill Salisbury, Buenas and half a day, Vincent Santos. And then salute from Robert Barnett. And then Brennan Fausto, Jigo Jarhead, sending good vibes to all veteran warfighters. And then we have Doc, Habsaba FMC, half a day Guam veterans. And then we have Sue Adams Fawcett. She is an Army officer veteran.
She's cool. She's airborne.
Yes.
Nice. Oh.
And then I did want to announce one thing before we get back, got back into it. I got a message from Senator Shelton. Tomorrow, we can catch live or attend in person. Bill number 294-37, an act to honor women who serve to establish June 12 of each year as Women Veterans Recognition Day. Public hearing will be broadcasted on YouTube. All you have to do is search Guam Legislature. It'll be live.
Very cool.
Thank you. It's hosted or sponsored by a bunch of senators. And now, back to you. You were sharing your Air Force enlistment beginning into the career.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. We have Johnny Atulai. He just hopped on.
Oh, did we talk about his...
his veteran? You have yours veteran.
Okay, so the Veteran of the Week for... One second, guys.
For
Vet Talk and the Johnny Atulai show is... Wait a minute. Hold on.
From Palau?
It's from Palau.
Palau veteran?
Yes, hold on. I got to pull up the...
Palau veteran.
There we go. It is Major Marvin Yamada Jr. So what we've done now is Johnny Atulai and Vet Talk and their crew over there have decided to add on the Veteran of the Week
for their show.
So we now have 2 veterans of the week. We have on our show and their show. So now we can celebrate 2 veterans rather than just one.
Because there's so many veterans.
And we have too many, yes.
So many veterans.
Nah, not too many. We need more veterans.
We need
Let's
more.
go.
You know, I read something in the news that the recruiting numbers are down, and you know who they're using to recruit them?
Veterans?
Yes,
Are they?
they're using veterans.
I actually just saw today that they are enacting that recall act for the past 8 years for the Army. I think Army started it first, right? Yeah. So the numbers are down.
Yeah.
Numbers are down. Yeah.
And this is why with some of the things that we're doing, we want to talk about that. Like, so it's the year of the veteran. We got our Veterans Task Force to get our governor and lieutenant governor to proclaim 2024 year of the veteran. So we're now on month 4, I believe, or 5. Yeah,
right.
Because we started in February.
Oh, yes, you're
That's
right.
when they announced it.
Okay.
But all these things that we do, we announce them. So like last night we were on we were out at Tony Roma's, so we talked to them, and so they give 10% every day to our veterans. So we announce these things so that we make sure everyone sees it. And you know, our veterans get an opportunity to get out there and go to these places and take advantage of that discount, right? So
Yes, sir.
that's some of the stuff we're doing. There's a whole lot more, right? We got all kinds of stuff going on.
Hold on, I have to share this comment online. Okay. So Joey Cruz says, Buenas. David May says, How for the HMI Familia. But the funny comment is from Johnny Atulai. He goes, You want me to wrestle that guy?
Yes. Only with oil. Coconut. Uncooked. Unpasteurized. Coconut oil.
So we were talking.
Only way.
We were talking to him earlier, and we mentioned your name, right? And he said, "I don't think I can run away from him that fast."
No, I'm not fast, but I have cardio. I can just keep running. Yeah.
So, all right. Well. So yeah, back to your story, right?
Yes.
You
wrestling
went through,
one.
yeah, you got into the active duty, and the coach got you. You're starting to work, and you now have a new job.
So I become in the Air Force. You can only be TDY 6 months before you have to go back to your permanent duty station to report, do all your testings and your up trainings before you have to go back out. Yeah. So I was almost permanently TDY at the Olympic Training Center. Sorry, I don't know if I went to it. I became the first All Air Force wrestling team member, and then training at the Olympic Training Center, I was invited to become a resident athlete at the Olympic Training Center to make the 2000 Olympics.
Oh,
Wow.
Yes.
While I was in the Air Force.
Yes.
So all I did was train, eat, sleep, rehab. Train, eat, sleep, rehab, surgery. Train, eat, surgery, rehab. So from that point on, my entire life became representing the Air Force, wearing warm-ups all the time, going to the bases, saying hello to people, meeting governors and congressmen. What's it called? Community service, outreach programs, Big Brother programs, going to the academy and talking, meeting with people. Man, it was so cool. It was it's an amazing thing.
But let me ask you, the training that you did wasn't like your everyday basic. You know how we go for like a 2-mile run, some push-ups and sit-ups, or play basketball for a little while and then go home.
Yeah.
You were trained. You had to train at the level to represent the Air Force.
You're training at the Olympic level. I'm training at the Olympic Training Center.
It's professional.
So it's not professional because we're not paid.
Right. Well, you're paid by the military.
Correct. Yeah. But as a sport.
Gotcha.
As a sport.
Okay.
Well, it's still considered amateur wrestling, yeah.
But you're training.
There's no higher. There's no higher. You can't get any higher than the Olympic Training Center.
Yeah. So even though you had the good times, right? They were dogging you out. Am I correct?
I literally broke my body.
Okay, there you go.
Doing this stuff. I have a bad L4, L5, S1.
Yeah.
That came from wrestling. And if you don't know, if you're not sure what wrestling is, the move that happened to me is called a bow and arrow. So your heel ends up touching the back of your head while somebody's pulling on you to roll you.
Oh, okay.
So that's what really cracked up my back. And then the big thing that happened to me when it's for the Air Force, I lost to a guy, Garrett Lowney, 3-1. Please look it up. 3-1. Garrett Lowney ended up going to the Olympics in 2000, and I think he placed third. I lost to him. He, in the very beginning of the match, he gut wrenched me, and my hand, so not my palm, but the backside of my hand, where your knuckles are, touched my shoulder blade, right side. So my ulnar nerve, all my ligaments in my arm snapped, tore, popped, and this went back. So this was the beginning of my medical discharge, loss of, I was being kicked out of the military at the same time. I lost my spot at Living Training Center. I was going to become, it was a crazy, crazy time, man. So I was going through all of this, man. I ended up, they did surgery on my arm.
Yeah.
And then, as we're trying to rehab, the people at the Living Training Center are saying something's not right with your arm, like it's not responding. It's not responding. It's not responding. And I'm doing all of the hard rehab. I'm doing all the ridiculous stuff that you're supposed to be doing, but my arm's not working. Come to find out, long story short, going through all of the BS that you're going to get put through, come to find out, they cut my ulnar nerve.
Oh.
So literally had no feeling in my arm. I had no use of my arm. It just hung there like a dead, if it wasn't connected to my shoulder, I couldn't move this.
Right.
And it ended up, the atrophy was so bad, the skin was hanging like a shirt, and you could see all the bones in my arm. It was bad. So they said, oh, well, the nerve could grow back. It might grow back. We don't know. I'm like 19, or 20. I'm 20. I'm like, what the F are you? What? So going through life, angry at the world, F the Air Force, F this, F the, just angry and young. I thank God my mom and my dad were like, if you don't know what you're doing, you're not sure yet, just come back home. Stay home with us. You'll figure it out here at the house. Love you, Mom and Dad. Pinoy na Pinoy talaga. Filipino style, island style, Come home till you figure it out. So I went home, and I'm trying to figure out how to fix this, I had to sell a car, a beautiful car of mine, a Camaro Z28. That was stick shift. I had to sell it because I couldn't do this anymore. So there's a lot of stuff when and I went to a doctor, old salty man.
Yeah.
But this old salty man, I tell you what, sometimes I'm a walking oxymoron, just so everybody understands. I hate bullies. I really hate bullies. But I do believe that bullying is necessary sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm a walking oxymoron, okay? This doctor, this old salty man told me, and excuse me, he says, do you ever want to wipe your beep again? And I was thinking like, yeah? Well, if you don't start doing something with your arm, you're never, ever going to. I'll have to cut that off. Or it's just going to hang there. So, man, I literally started sweating. I remember the feeling in my chest, like, oh, my God. Oh, my gosh. So that day, I would hold this arm, and I would literally just try to walk my fingers in and walk them back out. And my nerves still weren't firing. So it took me forever to do this.
Oh, wow.
Like literally picking up silverware and it's dangling, right? So I'm looking crazy in a restaurant and I'm trying to stick it in no matter how hard it is, and I'm dropping and making noise, and it's so loud and it's so embarrassing that people are staring at me. Like people are all the restaurants. I remember, and my sister Michelle, she saw people staring at me. She was like, what are you looking at? At least he's trying. And she started cussing at him. And I was like, that's right, Michelle, that's right. But man, it was from that journey, like not being able to, I remember this was the exercise, just to do this. I couldn't bring my fingers together. Yeah, they wouldn't move.
Man, that is interesting to hear. We look at you and we'd be saying, oh, look at this big, strong, in shape, he's a superstar and everything. And you're telling a story of where you came from and how you had to climb up from that. Isn't that, and imagine the people out there, right, that might be having a tough time, right? That's a kind of story we want them to hear, right? Because guess what? We might be having a tough time, but we're trained to move and do things. So, we got to take that training and use it, right?
You got to figure it out. Yeah. You have to. Man, and honestly, it's not worth quitting.
There you go.
It's not worth quitting, man. This is too cool. Life is too cool to quit on. something else is cool going to happen tomorrow, but you have to wait to find out what it is. I look at it like a video game. I look at life like a video game. I'm exploring all the caves. I want to turn all the stones. I want to bomb all the walls. I want to see what's where, you know? So, yeah, don't quit and figure it out.
Endless lives on the video
Endless
game.
lives. Endless lives on the video game, yeah. Go back to the shop and purchase some potion.
And then there's so many good things that will come up, right? I mean, we were just talking on the break, right? None of us, I think, ever thought we'd be on the radio show today, right? I mean, I'm one that I'm on the radio, right? And there are people telling me, hey, I heard you on the radio, right? And I was like, yeah. And you kind of mentioned that about you being on TV, which is a bigger thing, right?
He's on Prime. He's on Prime and Netflix.
Yeah. What do you do? What are some of your movies you want folks to be looking at? I know you didn't want to say that, but I'm asking, so you have to tell them.
So we have a movie on Prime, Amazon Prime. It's called Day Zero.
Day Zero.
It is a action film, zombie.
Yes.
There is going to be a part 2.
All right.
So please watch that one. And then on Netflix there is a film called By Bust.
Okay.
All my films are in the Philippines with Virtual Playground, my management group that I love and adore because you really are family. Acting is really cool. I have such a good time doing it. Yeah. I don't even know what the hours are because sometimes it's midnight till 12 the next day. Sometimes it's just whenever they need the lights and everything has to be right, you know. So you're really on just call. You're on call.
All right.
And I'm just doing reps, whatever direct tells me to do, or go do it again. Yes, sir. Go do that again. Yes, sir.
So it's like listening to your coach, right?
Oh, we're gonna take a break. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
We'll be right
Yes,
back.
ma'am.
We're gonna take a break.
Is KFC's new pizza?
Fried chicken? That's our pizza.
That's right. You think KFC's new pizza isn't pizza because it's made with crispy fried chicken? You think the marinara, mozzarella, and pepperoni aren't enough? Well, you're right. It's not pizza. It's pizza. Only at KFC.
Now on Guam for a limited time, the new KFC Chitza. Grab yours today at your favorite KFC restaurant or order at kfcguam.com. KFC, it's finger licking good.
And we're back. I'm going to say hello to those that are joining us online. Jean joined us. Jean Ascension joined us. And then we talked about what we want to talk about when we came back from break. Thank you, Brandon Barra, U.S. Air Force veteran and retired MMA fighter. And he's a star. So he has some films on Prime and Netflix. But we want to talk about, you're just trying. We want to talk about the event that we're going to have on November 9th with Frank the Crank.
So, Frank the Crank, November 9th. He's going to be helping fundraise.
Yes.
For
veterans.
For all veterans.
Yes.
For all veterans. And I was just literally told about this before this radio
show.
So I have said yes, that I will be here for the run and that I would be Frank the Crank's water boy.
Oh, wow.
I'll try to follow behind Crank on my bike. You know, my bad L4, L5, S1 doesn't allow me to run like that.
You're gonna try to catch up with him?
I'm gonna be on a bicycle. I have gears, so I can keep moving. We're good.
And I think we're really planning on trying to get more of our veterans out there. Maybe, any of our other veterans that want to maybe come out.
Come hang out. Yeah.
Carry their flags or represent their place. And then even our veterans that maybe aren't able to be that mobile, right? We can be at the water stations.
Yes.
There you go.
So
and
some of the water stations, and I know Frank's going to give us the details and we'll have him on the show to talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of the stations are going to be at, I think he said we're going to start at Retidian.
Yeah.
Then a aid station will be at JMC, St. John's, Tremont Village, Fisheye. And then we're gonna start up north and end down at Molesso Pier. And it's going to be a total of 37 miles.
Wow.
Bicycle it is for me.
and we told him we'll have a car behind him with our hazards on so that nobody,
Stay
clips him
safe.
while he's running.
Yeah.
And we told him, if we have to carry you across the finish line, you're going to finish this. And he said yes.
Crank's going to finish it, no problems. And shout out to Queer Crank. Man, thank you, Uncle Coach, for always taking care of those kids over at Purebred, man. And hit up whenever he has a pop-up, make sure you grab yourself a Shinart knife.
Oh, yes. We told him that when we talked to him this morning, because I had a pear, right? Yeah. But with no knife, not even a spoon. So I remembered he gave me one of his Shinart knife keychains. And I'm like, oh, let me just grab it out. Got it out, cleaned it up real quick, and I cut the whole pear. And I was like, I hope this is enough to just, crack it open in half, and it was.
Yep. And you don't understand why Shinarp until you use one of his knives.
Yes.
And it just falls through whatever you're trying to cut. Sorry, Crank. Sorry.
He was just at the American Island Fair, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes.
All right. I tried to swear him in, by the way, to become a veteran. So maybe next time.
Next time. Actually, do we have time? I would like to announce one more thing.
Yes, of course, yeah. Go ahead.
We've done a lot of cool things. I've got to do a lot of cool things in my life and around the world with people and meet people and see things. And I've even got to touch a 24-karat gold toilet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've got to do some really, really cool stuff.
Yeah.
A 3-story house underwater. There's limitless cool things that I've gotten to do. But this thing right here, and people might get mad again too. The school might be upset, but I have to tell them. I'm on the radio. Yeah. I am now the athletic director of Mount Carmel School.
Yay!
What this means is that Mount Carmel, down at Agat, is going to have a full martial arts program this coming school year.
Wow.
One of the coaches, other than myself, that's coming, is on his way, is DJ Action Jackson.
Oh.
If you don't know who that is, just Google him. Another one is Coach Dorian Price. The plan is, first year, we have a dedicated one grappling room. And the school, Mount Carmel, has already looked to expand into a second dedicated striking room. This is for all 1st to 8th graders and alumni that want to come hang out on Saturdays. This is not an extracurricular activity. This is not after-school program. This is graded curriculum right along with social studies, chamorro, music, and science.
Awesome.
I've been holding on to this for a while because we've been trying to get the words right for a commercial that we're going to shoot. But this is big, and I want everyone to know. I want the island to know. I want the whole island to be able to do this. I want interscholastic martial arts happening on this island. As a father and as a resident, I want strong warriors around me all the time. So I'm very happy to announce it. It's not just martial arts. We're going to be talking about being good citizens, becoming great stewards of the island, and learning how to represent Guam the way it should internationally.
Yes. Yay. And nutrition too, right?
We're going over nutrition. There's so many things we're going over. We're basically, this full martial arts program, I'm going to show you everything that I've learned in the 35 years that I've been competing my entire life, from amateur all the way to pro. From food to techniques to train of thought and drills. We're going to make it happen.
And that'll at least set them up, if not to become, because not everybody's going to end up being a fighter or want to, compete. But just that foundation is going to help them to do just about anything else, right?
We're giving them a solid concrete foundation.
Yes. That's awesome, and that's great news, and we really appreciate that. And I think, the folks growing up out here, that's something that I'm sure that they can really make use of. So,
is anyone getting mad at you, texting you?
No. I understand the sentiment, but no. And in my big train of thought, in a perfect world, I think the schools would be the after school schools, the after school programs and dojos. Would benefit more because now their students have a great foundation and base that they can just go to them for finishing school. That's what I'm thinking of. Like you you get to go get extra stuff now.
Yeah.
From the other teachers on island.
And I think you did tell us that you wanted this is the first one, but hopefully expanding it.
Yes, ma'am. So this is the first one, but in a perfect world, we just keep making this happen. Yeah, keep growing.
Okay, you have 1 minute. Is there anything you want to say to anyone out there, veterans, future students?
Thank you to Guam for being so amazing to me since I showed up on island. My voice is cracking up because that's how beautiful Guam has been to me. My goal is to just become a plus positive and give back to this island. Thank you, veterans, for what you have done and the service you have given. Please get with HMI and make sure that they get you what you deserve. Love you, Mama. Thank you for always having my back. Love you, Atreyu. Thank you, everyone, all the coaches and all the teachers. Love you guys.
Hey,
All right,
thanks a lot,
thank
Brandon.
you.
We'll get you back here again.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
The Point is KUSG, Hagåtña, Guam, 93.3 FM and 104.3 HD3.
Trump rallies. I'm Deborah Valentine, Fox News. Presumptive GOP presidential nominee Donald Trump holding a big outdoor campaign rally in Las Vegas, Nevada on Sunday. His comments causing controversy with hospitality workers. Fox's Elisa Acuna reports.
The former president made news here in Las Vegas, and for one thing he said,
when I get to office, we are going to not charge taxes on tips, people making tips.
not long ago, the Culinary Union, which represents 60,000 hospitality workers here in Nevada, issued a statement on X reading, "Relief is definitely needed for tip earners, but Nevada workers are smart enough to know the difference between real solutions and wild campaign promises from a convicted felon." As for what Trump did not do, make an